PC fam, we are back with another episode of Chill with Chill. We're here to do nothing but talk great hoop talk like we do every Thursday and Saturday. Chill, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey man, basketball season running good, big fella. How you doing?
All right, all right. We were on playback last night, and as y'all all know, we are in the mid-season tournament. In-season tournament, as they call it,
In-season tournament, sure.
We are right in the thick of that. Last night was round 2 for most teams. We saw some incredible performances. I want to start, although the main game last night we watched was the Spurs versus the Rockets. Chill, I want to talk about what you saw and I saw and everybody else saw from Giannis Antetokounmpo last night.
Well, Ox, I have this daily reminder to people of how awesome Giannis is. Giannis is playing with such force. He's playing with such grace, to be honest with you, that it will not go overlooked from me at all this season. I'm watching him last night. Of the 41 points he had, Ox, he had 8 dunks. That's 16 points just off dunks alone. He completely destroyed their interior, and he was glass cleaning too. He had 15 rebounds. Giannis is one of the best rebounders in traffic that I've seen. When I think about great rebounders, I think about guys who can not only rebound long rebounds, but how you rebound. Can you rebound in traffic? Can you rebound above the rim? And Giannis was doing that last night with just so much energy. What I saw last night was I saw a group of guys who stuck their chest out a little bit more because we got this dude, right? So I'm watching Giannis look more for Rollins, who's cracking the long ball. I feel like Cole Anthony has just been he's just been so much better for them this season than they had in the past. To be honest with you, I know that they get KPJ back soon, and it's unfortunate because I think that KPJ is a really good player. But with that being said, I love the fact that this kid, Ryan Rollins, and Cole Anthony, I love the fact that what they're doing, I don't want to disrupt that. I don't. And I think that with KPJ coming back, I think he could help them, but I just don't want him to, what I don't want him to do is I don't want him to think that he now has to play different because those guys are playing better. I mean, like I said, Ox, Cole Anthony came off the bench last night. He gave him really good minutes. I thought he took care of the basketball really well. His shot wasn't great last night, but I love the fact that he was aggressive, getting downhill, getting guys involved. I mean, Bobby Portis, again, is one of the consummate dirty work guys, rotation guys. But this is all stemmed because they didn't shoot particularly well. Gary Trent didn't shoot it that well. Cole Anthony didn't shoot it that well. But the confidence that they have playing with Giannis, I think that just is paramount for what they're doing, Ox. I think they, as of right now, I think they're in first place in their division, and they're a game at a first place in the Eastern Conference. So, okay. I mean, we're talking about a Milwaukee Bucks team that's rolling.
Miles Turner, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 stocks.
8 rebounds. How about that? And 5 blocks. Yeah, I love it, yo.
5 stocks.
Blocks and steals. Let me rephrase that. Blocks and steals. Yeah, 5 of them. Yes, let me rephrase that. I apologize. So
I understand what you mean by these, guys puffing out their chest a little bit more, playing with Giannis. Chill. How long can that last? How long can Giannis be this type of engine for this basketball team?
He's been doing it for the last 3 years. We just haven't really recognized it because it hasn't translated to the playoffs because, unfortunately, he's been injured and Damian Lillard was injured, so we didn't really get an opportunity to look at it. But what he's doing now, he's been doing this for the last 3 years, but we got wrapped up in I'm not going to speak for everybody. I got wrapped up in what Joker was doing. And you've been telling me this for years, Ox. You've been telling me this for years about Giannis. Chill. Giannis is the best player on the planet. Nah, Ox. I care about the winning. The winning matters. What you do in the playoffs matters. And I'm overlooking what he's producing while he's doing this, right? I'm overlooking that. And I think that Giannis, he'll be 31 years old next month. I mean, he's in his prime. I think we're in peak Giannis years. I think I could get another year, maybe 2 years of peak Giannis before we get on the other side of who Giannis is. Yeah, I think I could get another year, maybe 2 years of this because, I mean, he's in great shape. Not only is he in great shape, his game is just evolving. Like, Ox, he's shooting the long ball now. He ain't a long ball shooter. He's cracking the long ball. He's shooting more in the mid-range, which tells me that he's modernizing his game. He knows that as time goes on, I'm not just going to be able to just run guys over. I'm not just going to be able to just play as violent as I play consistently. I got to put this other stuff in my game. What it reminds me of is James recognizing the three-point revolution. And I got to put this in my game. Otherwise, I'm not going to last. I got to start playing at the long ball line.
I do like that Giannis when it comes to that three ball, chill. I do like that he's not necessarily looking for it. He's not necessarily out just seeking that three ball. He's more so shooting it when the defense disrespects it. Like when the defense is stepping way off, he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take that, and I'm not mad at that. Especially if he's gonna knock it down. If he's gonna knock it down, I like it, and I think it's a good weapon to have. But I still think defenses are gonna continue to concede that to him though. And I know I would. I'm gonna make you. I would make him keep shooting it. Even if he starts knocking it down, because he's not gonna take 6, 7 of them a night. You know.
No. Well, again, Ox, to your point. Well, when you're dealing with a great offensive player, I'm not going to be able to stop everything that you do. So I'm going to have to concede something, right? So if I'm dealing with Giannis, what would I rather him do? I'd rather him shoot jump shots. I would rather him shoot in the mid-range. I'd rather he let me off the hook when he shoots the three ball, right? He's letting me off the hook when he shoots the mid-range. And I think that we're in a space with Giannis that he's so much more comfortable now in the mid-range. He's so much and he's got a lot of confidence at the long ball line, which I love, by the way, because I don't expect him to just stay at the long ball line. I don't expect him to just concede jump shots because I'm still going to get mine. But to your point, I do need you to understand, I will knock this three ball down. Yes, I will. Right. I can hit it. And I will knock this mid-range down. If you just give me we saw it this summer we saw it last summer in the Eurobasket championships when Greece was going up against Latvia and he was going up against Porzingis. Porzingis left them open in the mid-range. I think he hit like 3 or 4 of them in a row. I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to concede that, I mean, you're in trouble. If he can consistently have that in his game, yes, he's in trouble. You're in trouble.
Right. Well, I mean, we saw it last night. We know what type of mode Giannis is in. In fact, Chill, speaking of modes, we got an early MVP ladder. Okay. And I don't know if it would shock y'all to know this, but Giannis is not at the top of that ladder. Mm-hmm. Although his team is one win outside of the first seed in the East, although he's averaging something in like around 34, 14, and 6, something around those lines, he's so still goofy. Not at the top of that MVP ladder.
That's so crazy.
Could I interest y'all in SGA, who is at the top of that ladder? Let me give you the top 5. I'll give them all. Here. Let me give them to you right quick. We got SGA at 1, Giannis at 2, Jokic at 3, Wemby at 4, Luka at 5, Josh Giddey at 6, Tyrese Maxey at 7, Donovan Mitchell at 8, Steph Curry at 9, and Alperen Sengun at 10.
No way Curry is in this. No way is Curry in this. But all right, okay, I could get that.
Where's your main pushback here, Chill? Is your main pushback that Giannis should be at 1 or that Donovan Mitchell is too low?
I think Donovan Mitchell is too low at 8. I think he definitely should be higher than what he is. Again, Cleveland is they're half a game out of first place. And as you know, Ox, winning matters when it comes to the league MVP, and how you produce in the process of that winning is what matters the most. And I don't think that we give Donovan Mitchell nearly enough credit for what he does for that unit, not just as a bucket getter, but just as an overall player, as a playmaker, as a rebounding guard, as a passer. I don't think we give him nearly as much credit as we should. And I mean, I think that he's the engine. I think that getting back Darius Garland is really going to help them. But I mean, he's the best 2 guard in the game. I think he's their best bucket getter. He's one of their better perimeter defenders. And the reason why they're at the top of the East right now, I mean, like I said, they're a half a game. I mean, they're a game out of first place. So he has a lot to do with that. And if I look at if I look at the landscape of the rest of these guys, like as good as Maxey is, I think Donovan Mitchell literally just outplayed him a couple of nights ago. Josh Giddey has been fantastic. I'm not going to argue that point at all. I think we can have a conversation about what Josh Giddey has been doing and what Donovan Mitchell has been doing, and them being at the top of the Western Conference, at the top of the Eastern Conference. But as far as Luka averaging 40 plus a game, I mean, he's missed some time. Donovan Mitchell has basically been there the entire time. I definitely think he should be higher than where he is. I'm not saying that he's the number 1 or the number 2 seed, but he definitely should be higher than 8. No question.
My issue with this is Steph Curry being here instead of Jaylen Brown.
To be honest with you, Ox, I don't hate that. I really don't. When I think about, and what I'm asking you, Ox, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I got something for you, big fella. So in 1993, Michael Jordan retired, right?
Right.
With him quitting, now this team has to have a different identity. With them having that, Scottie Pippen now takes the reins.
Yes, he did.
Come to find out, Ox, I didn't know he was this good. I thought Scottie was good when he was running with Jay. I didn't know he was this good. That's how I feel about Jaylen Brown. Like, I still thought that Jay was a better player, but I didn't know that Scottie was this good. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't know he could pass like that. I didn't know he could defend like that. I didn't know he could get buckets like that. I feel the same way when it comes to Jaylen Brown with this Boston Celtic team. Like, I still think Jason Tatum is a better player. I just didn't know Jaylen Brown was this. I didn't know he was 30 a night good. I didn't know he was 29 to 31 a night good. I didn't know that he was that good of a bucket getter. I didn't know that he was that good of a defender. I just didn't know that he was that good. So when I think about these two, that's how I equate them.
Right. Well, Jaylen Brown's averaging 28, 5 and 4.
Yep.
And the Warriors have one more win than the Celtics. So
Right.
I don't get how Steph Curry is on there above Jaylen Brown, but
Sure.
I don't have a vote, you know. So how do you
And what I
feel
don't
about
want to
Josh?
do, Ox,
Sorry.
what I don't want to do, Ox, is I don't want to get in the middle of, this dude is a better player than this guy. No, that's not what the league MVP is about. The league MVP is about who's playing better at this particular time. And I think Jaylen Brown is playing better than Steph Curry. Right now, today, in November of 2025, I think Jaylen Brown is playing better than Steph Curry. He's been a better bucket getter at this point, better downhill guy. I think he's affecting the game more as a bucket getter than Steph Curry. And Steph Curry is, to your point, the most dangerous man when he steps on the floor. I'm not going to argue that point. But I think Jaylen Brown has been playing better than him. I do. I don't think he's a better player, but I do think he's been playing better.
At this point in their careers, I think Jaylen Brown's a better player than Steph Curry.
Wow. So, I mean, like, it's stuff like that. So that then if we doing that, Ox, what we now have to do when we step into that space, because there's people who will argue that Steph Curry is a top 10 player in the game. Does that mean that Jaylen Brown is a top 10 player in the game?
Well, I don't think Steph Curry's still top 10.
Right.
I mean, at this point in their careers, I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown's better than Steph Curry. Yeah, and I see things still too where it's like somebody in the chat just said, well, his handle is weak. Okay, I'm fine with that. I understand going left, it gets a little tricky sometimes. But
Sure.
you know what I never hear, like in NASCAR, is when Jeff Gordon would win a race, I would never hear, well, his transmission was a little wonky.
Never heard that, Ox.
Yeah, but he
Never heard
won.
that.
So what does it
Yes.
matter? Like, okay, if Jaylen Brown's going out, he's averaging 28, 5 and 4, but his handle's a little shy. So
He's still getting to where he needs to get to. It still
know,
works.
that's all. That's all. That's my thing. About this list though, are you good with Josh Giddey at 6? You know what's funny, Chill, is that everybody always says, the top 5 best guys in the NBA, they're foreigners. The top five
Yep.
guys going for the MVP are foreigners, and that's Luka, Wemby, Jokic, and Giannis, and SGA.
Top
But now
five.
that we have to say the top six because Josh Giddey's at 6 and he's Australian.
Yes, sir. Top 6. I think we can, to be honest with you, Ox, I think we can have a conversation about Josh Giddey and Donovan Mitchell. I do think that Donovan Mitchell is ahead of Maxey, but Josh Giddey has been playing awesome. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Ox, I think we're close this season. If we're not there, we're close to a triple-double with Josh Giddey this season because he's been nothing short of fantastic getting downhill. I'm getting 22. Yeah, I'm getting 22, 9, 6, 9, 8. So I'm almost getting 22, 10, and 10 from him. That's what I'm getting this season on really good efficiency. Almost 50% from the floor, shooting over 40%, shooting over 40% at the long ball line. The free throw line, not so much, but he could do a better job at taking care of the basketball. But a lot of those turnovers that I see him getting, they're miscues. And what I mean when I say miscues, they're miscues not from him throwing the ball out of bounds. It's like Vooch fumbling the ball out of bounds. It's and the turnover ultimately is on him. It's DeSamo when he kicks it to him, shot fake, one dribble, and he ends up traveling. It's stuff like that. Like Josh does a really good job in taking care of the basketball. He doesn't turn the ball over at a high rate at the expense of him. So I mean, I can't say that I hate him at 6, but I think him and Donovan Mitchell, I think that there should be a conversation between him and Donovan Mitchell right outside the top 5. Yes.
Right. I also want to point out that Alperen Sengun's on this list as well, y'all. So that means that of the 10 players on this MVP ladder, there's only 3 Americans, and that's Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Steph Curry.
Yeah. Now, Ox, does it mean that, with these 10 guys, right? With these 10 guys, so 7 of them are foreigners.
Uh-huh.
Now, does it get tricky after that when you're talking about the foreigners? Because again, I always hear the logic that the foreigners, the Euros, they're taking over the game. After you get outside the top 10, where is the gap between American players and foreigners? Because then I think about guys like France. I don't think
Denny
Advia.
Advia.
I think about Dyson Daniels, guys like that, right? But after that, I think it's primarily Americans.
Oh well, yeah. I don't make no mistake. I don't think that they're the world's taking over basketball. I just thought it was just cool to point out.
Yeah.
Like I'm still not on that train, but we never know. In the next 5-10 years, it could be too much to come back. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But we need to stop. Yeah. We need to relax with the cone drills and start playing basketball, y'all.
Hey Ox, can we get off the garbage can, running around garbage cans and shooting jump shots? Can we do that? Can we get some 3-on-3 going on?
Right.
Can we do that? Learn how to screen and play off the basketball. Can we do that?
And mind you, yes, I do think there's always a place for getting shooting drill, getting your footwork right, making sure you're coming off a screen on balance. We need that. But we need to relax with the extra super cone drill, sidestep, double back. Like that's not going to make you a good basketball player. You got to get out there and play ball, like you just said, chill. 3-on-3. You know what I'm saying? Let's learn how to play ball, y'all, because we cannot make any mistake that these European guys and Australian guys, they are I mean, the proof is in the pudding. There's 10 guys on the MVP ladder, and 3 of them are Americans. So
seven of them are from another country. So
right.
To your point, Ox, I mean, how many times could I hit the heavy bag? I got to get in the ring with somebody. At some point, I got to get punched in the face. Yeah, I got to get punched in the face.
you got to spar. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's all I'm saying, y'all. If there's any coaches out here watching, any trainers out here watching, any hoopers out here watching, go play some basketball, man. Get off them cones, man. They're coming. They're coming, y'all.
Yes, sir. They are.
Before we do got some people in the lobby, got some super chats. I just want to do a quick rundown. I'll bring y'all up real quick, and then we'll do a quick rundown of the games, because I do want to talk about that Spurs Rockets game that we watched last night, chill. First, let me bring up Let me bring up Baller to the stage.
What up?
What's
Baller,
going
what's
on,
going
guys?
on?
What you guys up to?
What up? What's going on?
Just chilling, just chilling. Yo, chill. I actually wanted to ask you a question. Um, okay, so you said earlier, I just want to clarify, when you talk about like Steph and Jaylen Brown, you were kind of saying that like Jaylen Brown has played better than him this season
I
so
think
far?
I think he's playing better. Yes, I do. I think he's playing better than him. Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to put like, let's say Jaylen Brown with like the rest of the league based on his play, like where would he rank this year so far? Would he be in like top 15, top 10?
Yeah. Definitely top
Yeah.
15. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely top 15. No doubt about that. Like I said to Ox earlier, I'm not sold on the Jason Tatum logic or the top, all of that stuff. I've never been
Mhm.
sold on that. What I am sold on, however, is I just didn't realize that he was this good of a bucket getter. And now that the offense with Jason Tatum not being there, now with him being more of a focus of the offense and being more of a bucket getter, I'm
Mhm.
finding out how much better he really is. I didn't
I
know he was
think
that good.
that makes sense to me. The only thing is that for me, when I watched both of the finals that the Celtics played, the first with the Warriors and
Yeah.
with the recent one against Dallas, um, he was able to go through stretches of times in both of those finals where
Yeah.
he was legitimately the number one option on that floor at very
Was he?
specific times. There's specific, not the whole series, but I'm saying
What specific time? Sure, I
there
could
was
get with that.
games
All right.
in which the Celtics knew that Jason Tatum didn't have it that night, and they gave the ball to Jaylen Brown, and he led them to victory as like that one option for those 2-3 games. Like I would say probably like halfway through both of the series, I felt like Jaylen Brown was the number one option. At one point, like that's what it became to me. So I was saying that I've seen it before. I've seen him play at like I feel like I've seen it before, so I'm not surprised by it. What I am
Yeah.
surprised about is that him being able to go to like, you know, who knows, like maybe potential MVP down the line, like candidate, like top 5 in MVP voting, maybe if he's on his own team, like the sky's the limit for him. So
I just didn't know he was this good. And, to your point, when we're talking about the NBA finals, I mean, I think that him playing the way he played, as a defender, he didn't shoot it great, neither did Jason Tatum. But I felt like the way he
against against
affected the game,
against the Warriors, though, he was a lot more
well,
effective.
I feel like the Warriors, that was what, 4 years ago. And I mean, I
2020,
understood that.
yeah,
He
2020. No, it was 3 years ago,
2022,
2022.
22,
Yeah,
22. So that was 4 years
yeah.
ago. So with that being said, I won't argue that point. I do think that he was much
Mhm.
better. I was screaming at the screen with Jason Tatum when he would pass the ball and he would put his head down. I'm like, we're not going to stop coming
Yeah,
to you. So
yeah,
just know that. And Jaylen Brown looked like he was more aggressive than Jason Tatum was. Now, when we get to the
100%.
finals 2 years later in 24, that's a
Mhm.
different version. That wasn't the same dude in the finals that I saw in 22. Absolutely. And I also saw a guy who, when his shot wasn't going, he was doing other things to get other people involved in the game, to
No,
keep himself
Tatum's
involved in the
impact was
game.
outside of his scoring because he was still the number one playmaker, number one passer for the team. He was like one of their. I still think he's a very like underrated defender. Actually, I feel like sometimes people don't like give him his credit because as a two-way basketball player, Jason Tatum is like top tier, like in the
I
NBA.
just
I
don't
don't think
what
not a lot
what
of
I don't
two-way
want to do
players
is
better
I
than
don't
him.
want to what I don't want to do is I don't want to turn this into Jaylen Brown versus Jason Tatum, because I think
No,
Jason
no, it's
Tatum is a
not that.
better
It's
player
not
than
that.
him.
It's not that.
However, what I didn't know, and I'm still standing on this logic, I didn't know Jaylen Brown was this good. I knew he was
Mhm.
good, and I see a
Yeah.
lot of guys who are awesome that play off of other guys. Same, I use the same. I use the analogy with I gave the example of with Ox. I gave the example with Scottie Pippen, and I did the same
Mhm.
thing with Bryant when it came to Shaq. Like, I knew Bryant was awesome. I didn't know he was
Yeah.
35 a game good, though. I didn't know he was 32 a game good. I didn't know that. No.
Chill. I gotta say,
But even with wait, hold on, hold on,
honestly,
hold on,
chill,
wait,
with
chill.
with what
Sorry, my bad.
with what Jaylen Brown is doing, chill. I actually think he's better than this.
So there's
Like,
more you think it is, Ox?
yes, chill. I'm still a little
The
underwhelmed.
potential's
Oh,
there. The
Yeah,
potential's all
wow.
there.
I'm a little
He has all the
underwhelmed
potential.
with
He has
Jaylen
all the
Brown.
tools. He has all the tools to be like he could be better than what we could imagine for him for sure.
I ain't
The
know that.
potential's all there.
I know you high. I knew you was high on him, Ox, but I ain't know. I mean, there's more than this that I'm getting right now, like 28, 29, 5, and 6. Like, 35 and 4. There's more than that, you think?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
yeah,
playing at
I
like
just think that with he gets a chance to kind of show it with Jason out the way. Obviously, I think even Jaylen Brown would wishes Jason Tatum was here, right?
Right.
But just since we are in this circumstance right now, Jason Tatum is out the way, so Jaylen Brown gets to be the number one option. But if the other guys, Derek White and these other guys, were playing a little better, I think we could see a little more from Jaylen Brown too. I just think Jaylen. I mean, you know how high I am on Jaylen Brown. I think when we have to have those two-way conversations,
Yep.
I think Jaylen Brown's one of those top 3 two-way guys. You know what I mean?
ooh, in the
I'm
league.
super high on
Oh,
Jaylen
that's a
Brown.
big one. Is he better than Jason Tatum two-way?
Well, I just think he's a far better defender than Jason Tatum.
You think he's a far better defender than Jason Tatum? That's
I do. But Jason Tatum is a better facilitator. Better,
I think
you know what I'm saying?
I think Brown is better as a defender, but far better means he's like classes above him. I think that they're, if anything, on a similar tier. You could say
Yeah,
I think Brown's a better individual defender, but team off ball defense, I probably favor Jason Tatum.
What I've used the example with Ox is we live in the same neighborhood. You just got an extra bedroom in your house than I do. That's all.
Yeah, basically, that's the best way to put it.
We live in the same neighborhood, though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good to talk to you, brother. We appreciate it. Absolutely, my man. No doubt about it. Good to
All right,
for
talk.
sure. Take care, guys. Have a good one, eh? Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Yeah, I know how high you are. You've been talking to me about Jaylen Brown for years now, and I mean, I've been paying attention, but I'm paying attention more this year than I have in the past, and I see different things. I see a confidence from Jaylen Brown. I see a more aggressive scorer. I see a more aggressive playmaker this year than I've seen in the past. And I mean, I think this goes back to what we talked about with James sitting on the sideline watching this group going, all right, wait till I get back out there and I get with these dudes and integrate myself. I think Jason Tatum is looking at Jaylen Brown going, yo, wait till I get back with my man. How much better they're going to be together.
Right. I know. I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown can't wait for Jason Tatum to get back too.
I do need my man. I know I look good, but I do need my dude. Yes, I do. And Jason Tatum saying the same thing. I need this dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to the lobby. Get somebody else up here, and then we'll get to the rundown. Classic. What's going on?
What up?
Yo, what up, guys?
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, I don't really like how I be talking about Jaylen Brown right now because he's always been good, and the Celtics aren't good this year, but he's got better stats. So I'm not impressed with what he's doing. I would be impressed if he played better some of the years that like they didn't win the chip whenever they had all their guys. Like when guys play good with a bad team, that just don't impress me because like you know how I feel about Bradley Beal. When he was averaging 30 in Washington, that didn't impress me. And then now we see
Classic. They wouldn't
really
be such a
like
bad
that.
team if Derek White would play some basketball.
I mean, I got you. You right. They're not playing good as a whole, but I mean, Jaylen Brown, he got to take some accountability for that too. I think if he was a better ball handler, if he wasn't so loose with the ball, I think he could be a better player. But like, he's always been good in the mid range. He's always been athletic. But he still got stuff he got to improve on too. So just him averaging a bunch of points on a bad team, that doesn't make me more impressed with Jaylen Brown. And then y'all saying he want Jason Tatum back? No, he doesn't. He already has a championship. So he does right now. He's enjoying averaging 30 right now. Y'all having these conversations like, oh yeah, Jaylen Brown is he actually the number one and he could be better? No, if Jason Tatum was here, Jaylen Brown's stats would be significantly lower than what they is right now, and there would be a possibility that y'all would be saying
Jason Tatum. That's just not true. Stop right there.
False.
So
okay,
what we're not going to do?
What you say, Chill?
What we're not going to do is we're not. I can appreciate you being the adversary here. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to talk about him like when he plays with Jason Tatum, he's significantly worse. No, he isn't. He averaged 26 a game with Jason Tatum as opposed to the 28 he averaging right now. He averaged 5 or 6 rebounds with Jason Tatum, which is what he's doing right now. So let's stop talking about this dude like when Jason Tatum's on the floor, his production just completely dips. No, it doesn't. And on top of that, he's a much better player because Jason Tatum has so much more attention on him. He's a much better player. What are you talking about?
No, chill. I agree with you, but the thing is, people value stats over winning. I think when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown play together, I think they're one of the best. I think they are the best duo in the league, even though their stats don't show it because they win so much. But for us to be praising him right now when they're losing, that just rubs me the wrong way
Well, they're
because
four. I mean, they're four
Jalen
and
Brown
six, classic.
Jalen
They're four
Brown's
and
only
six.
made one All Pro team, right?
Well, they're four.
I think he
They're
made
4
2
and
of them.
6, which is
Right.
better. Which is better than I expected them to be.
But
This is
that's
a
trash,
terrible.
though.
This is.
I
Hold,
mean,
hold on,
your
classic,
team is
because
the
this is a
king, though, so you don't
terrible
have high
team.
expectations for teams.
This is a terrible basketball team, and Jaylen Brown is making
So
them
unfair.
competitive.
That's so unfair.
Terrible
And
basketball team, and Jaylen
why I'm
Brown
saying
is
that, classic, because
single-handedly making them competitive.
Classic, you're a Jason Tatum guy. You watch this Boston Celtic team. They lost their point guard. They lost their big man. They lost both of their big men. They lost 4 of their 5 starters. How did you expect this team to be? This is a bad team. And that doesn't have anything to do with Jaylen Brown. Nothing. Has nothing to do with him. Losing Horford, losing Porzingis, losing Jason Tatum, losing Drew Holiday. That's huge. That's the core of our group. What did you expect this team to do? What
I
other
mean,
team
like I
in the
said,
league?
I did expect them to still be competitive, but I
And
just
they
don't think
are.
right. But I
If
don't
the
think
season
what
ended
Jaylen Brown
today,
is doing this year is not impressive to me because I know he's better, and I've seen what he can do on championship teams. Like I've seen in 2 finals, Jaylen Brown has been amazing. That's what impresses me. Not averaging 30 on a sorry team. That doesn't move me at all because I know
but
when Jason Tatum gets back, he's not going to be doing this.
wait a minute.
What impresses me is how him and Jason Tatum play together and how they're able to be cohesive together. But Jaylen Brown just averaging 30 on a sorry team, that doesn't move me at all.
It doesn't tell it. What it tells me is it tells me that he's a lot better individually than I thought he was. You put him around a group of guys, a core guys like the Boston Celtics had. If you put him around a core guys like that, he is going to perform at a high level, no question about that. But if you put him on a sorry team, you're going to get better numbers from him. Because why? I don't draw the attention. I mean, they don't. It's going to be more attention on me. So it's more attention on me, and I'm still able to score it at a high level. Usually, guys just dip when that happens. He's not doing that. And I think it's disingenuous to talk about this guy being on a team that's bad and still getting busy and not recognizing it, as opposed to him being on a really good team and still getting busy. I think it's disingenuous to do that. That's just so unfair for a guy who we've been talking about, you in particular, how you feel about Jaylen Brown and how you've talked about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together. And for him to be this good on this bad of a team, I don't understand why you wouldn't be praising him, because if this was Jason Tatum and they were this bad and I was getting 27, 9, and 7 from him, you'd be saying the same thing. You'd be like, get Jason Tatum some help. You wouldn't be saying, Jason Tatum, I'm not impressed with this. You wouldn't be.
Yeah, I think I still would be. I would be hard. I would be hard on anybody, man. Y'all remember last year when Jokic dropped the 60-point triple double and lost? Like that didn't move me at all because like I just feel like people care more about stats than like the sacrifices that go into winning and stuff like that. And also just real quick, like who impressed me this year is somebody like Drew Holiday. I'm more impressed with Drew Holiday than I am with Jaylen Brown because Drew Holiday has basically like turned that whole Portland organization around. Like what he's brought to that team, that's what impresses me. He's averaging like 18 or something. He's got them playing better defensively, offensively. I had forgot. I thought Drew Holiday was washed, and he's showing me like no, he's not washed. He just sacrificed those years with the Celtics, and so now Portland is like a top 6 seed. They're winning. He's getting off. That's what impresses me. Stuff like that. And I think, man, I know they're not going to win a championship, but if they was to get to like the Western Conference Finals or something, I think we got to have conversations with like, is Drew Holiday a top 15 point guard or a top 10 point guard of all time?
Well, definitely not top 10, but I mean, I'm not going that far. I can appreciate a guy segueing into a role and being better for that system. I mean, it's not like he got on a trash Trailblazer team. They were on it. They were trending this way when he got on that crew, and he was definitely what the doctor ordered for them.
So do y'all think what Jaylen Brown is doing is more impressive than what Drew Holiday is doing?
Yes.
Given how bad Portland has been for the last few years?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's
And
wild.
you'll never get me to say anything negative about Drew Holiday. Nobody's ever
neither.
heard me say anything negative about Drew Holiday ever in my life, and I never will. I hope.
I just think
But
we're in a space. I
it's
just really
different.
quickly, Ox. I just think that we're in a space with Jaylen Brown. Like we get to see what kind of player he is. Like that's what we get to see with him. We get to see what kind of, and I don't think that there's any of us who thought that this Boston Celtics team was going to be good this year. I don't think anybody thought that. And if you did, you weren't being honest with yourself. You just weren't.
Right.
Nobody thought that.
Right. But all right, Classic, we got to keep
Yes,
it
sir.
moving, brother.
All right,
Appreciate
man. Y'all have
you.
a good one.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I just don't think that's fair, Ox. I don't think that there's anybody that thought that this Boston Celtic team was going to be any good this year. And I didn't think that Jaylen Brown was going to be this good. I didn't. And the fact that you telling me that there's more there, I mean, that says a lot about how good you really think he is.
Yeah, I'm super high on Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Of course. Let me see. We got a super chat from Average Joe. He said, how this brother slandered JB for having stats on a bad team. Meanwhile, according to him, he's lost a potential top 10 point guard all time. It's a fair question, Joe. Fair question.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand where Classic was coming from. Although I disagree, I do understand the angle. I just think it's a little misguided. And that's all. That's all.
Yep.
I mean, I think the Portland Trailblazers, they didn't just turn around only because of Drew Holiday. I obviously think Drew Holiday has something to do with that because I believe Drew Holiday is far better than Scoot Henderson. But I do think this team was already trending upward, and I think a lot of their players just keep getting better. So shout out to the Portland Trailblazers.
Yep.
Chill, let's talk about last night's game, the one that we did on playback. And that was the Houston Rockets taking on the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs ended up pulling that game out 110 to 121. And it was a game of runs. It was going back and forth there for a while. Alperen Sengun dropped 25, 9, and 8. KD came with 24. It was a tough 24, but he still got there. On the other end, we had three guys on the Spurs with 22 or more. Champagny had 22. Victor Wembanyama had 22. And Harrison Barnes, the Black Falcon, came with 24 points and thoroughly outplayed Kevin Durant. Chill, what did you see last night? And just what do you think about the San Antonio Spurs team? A San Antonio Spurs team who was getting De'Aaron Fox back today.
Yep. Well, I thought that they did a great job of throwing different bodies at Kevin Durant. I thought Harrison Barnes 100% accepted the challenge of Kevin Durant last night. And I think that he went band for band with Kevin Durant. And I thought that he did it within the flow of the offense. Wemby draws so much attention, whether he's in that mid post or even if he's on the perimeter. He just draws so much attention. And I don't give him enough credit last night for the passer that he is, like in finding other guys. And I really think that Harrison Barnes capitalized on that. I mean, he cracked 6 threes last night, right? He really likes that right wing. And with him liking that right wing, I thought that he did a good job in capitalizing on open shots. Stephon Castle didn't shoot it particularly well last night, but I think that I felt like he consistently put pressure on Houston's defense. They did a great job in turning Houston over. My guy, Amin Thompson, he didn't look like the primary ball handler that I've seen him look like throughout the course of the season. He didn't look like the guy who was confident and comfortable in taking care of the basketball and being a playmaker. There was games, and this is probably going to be what I'm going to have to deal with this season. He didn't look like the guy that I saw in Boston. He didn't look like the guy that I saw in Memphis, right? He looked like the guy that was just unsure about what he wanted to do with the ball. So what they did was they took him and they put him in the corner. They put him in the dunker spot. He was effective, but I just didn't think that he was as confident with the basketball. And that was largely due to San Antonio turning them over as much as they did. I think Sengun turned down a couple of shots at the mid post, and not just at the mid post, but at the free throw line that I think could have really helped them cut that lead in half and keep them in the game. But I think last night, more than anything, it was the turnovers and it was the second chance points. San Antonio stayed on the glass. I think they outworked Houston. Harrison Barnes made some huge shots. Once they get Foxy back, which I think they get him back tonight. Once they get Foxy back, I think that this is just going to propel this team and make them even better. I'd like to see Wemby, and I want you guys to pay attention to Wemby as a screener. Wemby is more of a tag screener. He's not like Steven Adams, and you don't have to have a lot of girth to be a good screener, but he's more of a tag screener than he actually is hitting guys. And I think that he would be so much more effective if he actually screened. But I understand that being 7.5 feet tall, that may be a bit difficult for you. But I mean, like I said, this guy, he's something special, and I like what I saw from San Antonio last night, no doubt.
So chill. Kevin Durant had 8 turnovers last night.
8.
And Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, and Devin Vassell combined for 9 offensive rebounds. So you're getting 9 offensive rebounds from your wings and guards. And Stephon Castle had 2 of those offensive rebounds, and those 2 were huge momentum swingers. I mean, any offensive rebound to me is a big momentum swing. So, getting 9 from those 3 guys right there, that was a big deal, Chill. Really big deal. What does this say about that perimeter defense and the pressure they apply in the San Antonio Spurs? And getting De'Aaron Fox back today, I think that can only propel that perimeter defense.
One of the main reasons why they are what they are is because I got Wemby behind me. I mean, again, Ox, you talked about this earlier today when you talked about, poking your chest out a little bit more when you're running with Giannis. Well, shit, when I got a guy cleaning glass and I got a guy protecting the rim behind me, I'm definitely more willing to take chances on the perimeter, like what Stephon Castle was doing. And now when they get Foxy back, I mean, him in the passing lane, and I think him as an on-ball defender, I think he's really going to help this group. And then on top of that, with so much attention that Wemby draws when he's on the offensive glass, that now means that I can get on the offensive glass even more. And I think that that's going to propel their offense even better.
Right. Well, it was a heck of a game last night. Happy I caught it for sure. Let me just give you all a quick rundown of all the games and scores last night. We had Boston Celtics. They fell to the Orlando Magic 110-123. The Cavaliers, they cleaned up Washington pretty good, 148-114. Chill, do you want to talk about that crazy scoring burst from Donovan Mitchell last night? Because he went into halftime with 8 points, and then, if I'm not mistaken, scored 12 points in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter.
And by the way, Ox, he didn't play in the fourth, just so you know.
He didn't play in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't play in the fourth. So
I mean, just an explosive scorer.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my man Ox, who is still actually alive in the Splash Sports sweepstakes, he's still alive. He had some action on the game last night, and he needed Donovan Mitchell, and he needed Donovan Mitchell to get him some buckets. He was a little worried early. He didn't like what he saw after that first quarter. He didn't like what he saw, and I'm the voice of reason when it came to the big fella. I'm like, big fella, it's all right. I promise you, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get going. Just relax. And sure as shit, as soon as I said that, he just got going. I think he had 12 in like the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. And like I said, he didn't even play in the fourth quarter. Donovan Mitchell has such a rhythm in his shot right now where I feel like that offense is just getting propelled from him, and they rolling with him. Him as a one-on-one player, especially as a pull-up three-point shooter, I feel like that three ball has gotten better. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that with three-point variance, we're going to have games, Ox, where it goes the other way. But I think we could get to a point with him where it could definitely be solid. So the 24 that I saw last night from Donovan Mitchell, that could have easily been 32, 33. Easily been 32, 33. So I'm still riding the Alex Sarr train. Alex Sarr looked good last night, but my guy Evan Mobley, not just my guy Evan Mobley, but Darius Garland is getting back into rhythm. I mean, he did a good job in taking care of the basketball last night. He had 9 assists. I feel like their offense is kind of leveling itself off. It is trending this way, but I feel like it's leveling itself off right now because Darius Garland is getting back into the mix. But I think that this group is just going to get better. They got great production from their bench yesterday. This kid Tyson and Proctor gave them great minutes off the bench. And Sam Merrill, what can I say about Sam Merrill that hasn't already been said, except the fact that, Sam Merrill is a knockdown long ball shooter. And now that you got guys like Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell in the lineup looking for him and making him and letting him know that even if you miss a shot, even if you miss 2 shots, I'm coming back to you. I mean, when you got a guy like Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland that has that kind of confidence in you, you have no choice but to get busy. And I thought he gave them great minutes last night. I don't think he gave them good minutes. I thought he gave them great minutes last night. And they did that, by the way. No Lonzo last night. No Lonzo last night. So, I mean, I think this Cleveland team is trending upward. They rolling.
Yeah. No Lonzo, no Dean Wade. Yeah, true. That was an explosive output from Donovan Mitchell. What the heck?
Shout out to my man Trey Johnson, Rookie of the Year. I said it before the season started, Ox. I'm still standing on it. Trey Johnson, Rookie of the Year.
Right. Other than that, we had Toronto 109. They beat the Atlanta Hawks. Detroit 125 beating the Brooklyn Nets. They had a 107. A lot of people are frustrated that when I read off that top 10 MVP list, they didn't hear Cade Cunningham's name. Cade Cunningham had 34 and 10 last night. Chill, what is going on to where the Detroit Pistons are 7-2? They have a player like Cade Cunningham playing incredible basketball, and this guy is not being mentioned in this MVP ladder. He's not getting praised very highly. What's the deal with that?
I think because he started slow. I mean, a lot of it has to do with him starting slow and other guys just basically exploding onto the scene, like what Luka was doing, what Donovan Mitchell's been doing. What Donovan Mitchell has been doing, what Luka's been doing, right? What Tyrese Maxey was doing, what Giannis has been doing. The reason why we haven't heard much from Cade Cunningham is because the explosion of these other guys. On top of that, it's Detroit. And people always look at Detroit as less than. They still on what Detroit used to be. One, this is a really good basketball team. And 2, they got some young guys over there that are awesome. So guys like Cade Cunningham, and I don't know how much more I could say about Jaylen Brown that hasn't been said. I've been talking about Jaylen Brown over the last year or 2 years that I'm still standing on it. I think he's going to be on an Olympic team in 28. He's been nothing short of fantastic with this group. He had a 20-20 game a couple of nights ago. He went 30 and 10 last night. He's been great on lobs. Not only has he been great on lobs, he's been more of a ball handler for them. And with him being more of a ball handler for them, I think he's opening up the offense more for Cade. Cade's getting downhill, getting to the rim. He's definitely been more efficient as a bucket getter around the rim. I still don't love his 3 ball, but I feel like it's getting to the point. Like last night, it was respectable, and it didn't help Brooklyn that Cam Thomas, I think he's out for a month. He's got a hamstring injury, so that's just going to make things even worse for Brooklyn. But this Detroit team. Right, this Detroit team with Asor Thompson, I mean, I think that they've just been great. They've been really good, and I can't say enough about them. They're going to be trouble come playoff time. They are definitely going to be trouble.
Definitely will be. Already talked about the Houston game. The Miami Heat scored 53 points in the first quarter. They go on to beat the Charlotte Hornets 126-108. Colin Knipple had a high-scoring game, but just wasn't enough. The Memphis Grizzlies took care of business against the Dallas Mavericks, beating them 118-104.
Can we rewind really quickly, Ox? Can we talk about your man Norman Powell? Because this Norman Powell thing is a real thing, Ox. Like I was fighting this because, ladies and gentlemen, my boy Ox, from time to time, he'll get to the edge, and I gotta grab him before he falls off the cliff. So but what happens when he does that is I miss what exactly the point that he's making. So when he tells me that Norman Powell and Devin Booker are like this, like I miss the fact that wait a minute, Norman Powell is nice.
Right.
Like Norman Powell is a bucket getter. Like I'm
Right.
I'm wrapped up in now Devin Booker and Norman Powell, completely forgetting, well, wait a minute. There's a reason why Ox is saying this. He might be going overboard, but Norman Powell's a lot better than I give him credit for. Great one dribble pull-up shooter, great at getting to the basket, can score it in bunches. You know, for a guy 6'3", he's really good around the rim. And I mean, they handled that Charlotte team last night. They were up 26 at one point. Charlotte ended up fighting back. But I mean, Norman Powell completely took over that game and got them back and got them back on top. So, I gotta and no Bam last night neither. I gotta start giving Norman Powell the credit that he deserves. He's an awesome player. Yes, he is.
Yes, for sure. 25 points from Norman Powell, 22 from Andrew Wiggins. I expect him to beat the Hornets even without Bam. But Con Knipple did come through with 30 points, 8 rebounds. So shout out to the Rook.
Absolutely.
After that, I'm like I mentioned previously, the Memphis Grizzlies 118 to the Dallas Mavericks 104. This Dallas Mavericks team, chill. They need to get healthy, and they need to get healthy fast. Very fast.
I can admit when I'm wrong. I could not have been more wrong about a group than I am about this Dallas Maverick team. If there's any group that I thought could, get to the Western Conference Championship and be a significant threat in the West, it was definitely Dallas. I didn't anticipate that their 3 best players would be out of the lineup. I didn't anticipate that Klay Thompson would be as bad as Klay Thompson has been. I didn't anticipate that D'Angelo Russell would play as bad as D'Angelo Russell has been playing. I mean, this crew, for all intents and purposes, from top to bottom, in addition to the injuries, they're just bad all the way around. And now we're in a space where word is they may be looking to trade. They may be looking to trade Klay Thompson. I'm thinking, okay, this is what we're not doing. We're not going to put this on Klay and make this like this is a Klay issue. No, this is a bad team right now. This is an awful team right now. And Klay might not be playing the best, right? Klay might not be playing his best, but this is a bad team right now. And we're not going to put this on Klay. No, we're not.
Right. Well, chill. I don't know what you expected from D'Angelo Russell, but this is who D'Lo is. One thing I will say, chill, is I'm not ready to admit I was wrong yet about this Dallas Mavericks team. And the reason I'm not ready to admit that is because they have guys that are hurt that are going to come back. Now, if these guys were hurt and they were out for the season, then it would be a completely different conversation. The fact that I know these dudes will be back soon and the season is still so early, I'm not admitting anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hold on. I'm going to give them a month. I'm going to give them about 4 more weeks, and we'll see what happens.
I'm still sticking with him, Ox. I am. Yeah. I'm still sticking with him, but as of right now, it looks like I'm way wrong about this group.
Yeah.
Way wrong.
Well, yeah, of course, it looks really, really, really wrong right now.
Yeah.
But it's too early for me to throw in any towel. I refuse to admit anything yet. But I mean, Derek Lively, Anthony Davis, and Kyrie Irving changed everything. They change everything. You can put those 3 guys on any team, and it changes everything around. Also, chill, I'm listening to NBA radio, which is what I do a lot in the car. And I believe it was Justin Termini was saying that nobody was impacted greater by the Luka Doncic trade than Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was expecting to be able to come to the Dallas Mavericks and catch and shoot wide open passes from Luka Doncic. And the fact that they traded him kind of frustrated Klay a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Klay was on the trading block. I say Trey, I mean Klay. I wouldn't be surprised if Klay was on the trading block. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
So you're basically saying that he didn't sign up for this is essentially what it sounds like.
Yes,
it sounds like I signed up for something that I didn't sign up for.
Right. Klay Thompson signed up to catch passes, swing passes from Kyrie Irving. He signed up to catch drive and kick passes from Luka Doncic. That's what Klay Thompson signed up for. So, I mean, clearly
that's not what's going on.
One of them right now. So
that's not what's going on, unfortunately. So, It definitely looks like Klay sucks. And maybe he is better than what I think he is, but as of right now, it doesn't look good. Like I said, I'm still down with him, but right now it just doesn't look good. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, we'll
Right.
see if we can get this. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of this thing.
Yeah. So that's that game.
Yeah.
And then Utah Jazz fall to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was a beating. It was a beating. And Anthony Edwards had 37 and 5. And we got a triple-double from Julius Randle, 19, 10, and 12. They beat those guys up pretty good, 97 to 137.
Ox, I'm gonna go on record right now in November, and I'm gonna say it. I think Julius Randle's gonna make the All-Pro team this year. I do.
Huh?
I definitely think he's gonna make the All-Star team. But I think I'm gonna get an All-Pro season out of Julius Randle. And one of the main reasons why he's been playing the way he's been playing is because he's been so good at getting off the ball and being the playmaker that he is. Now, I'm not one of these people that's subscribing to the logic that, you can ride Julius Randle as the best player on a championship team. No, I'm not doing that. But I just love how he's incorporated his game into what Minnesota is doing. One of the best driving kick guys in the league, one of the better rebounders always in the league. Not only that, he's definitely been one of their better bucket getters. But Ant had it going last night. And Ant told us, I think a month ago, Ant told us that when he played against the bad teams, I'm just gonna destroy them. He told us that. And last night was evidence of that. He went for 37 last night. And he was almost close to 40. So I like what's going on in Minnesota, and I think that they can get it together, but we'll see. Yep, we'll see. But I'm going to stick to the logic, Ox. I think I'm getting an All-Pro season out of Julius Randle this year. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm always down with supporting Julius. So, excuse me. I'll be watching, and I'll be tapped into that. The Sacramento Kings fall to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Isaiah Hartenstein.
Where we get that from? What the hell?
33 and 19 from Isaiah Hartenstein. So
almost 30 and 20. What the hell? Dunking on guys. He out there looking like a young Rafe LaFrance. I mean, what is happening with this dude? He was cleaning glass. Don't get me wrong. I do know that Sacramento is a little bit depleted in their front court, but it didn't help that Oklahoma City held them to 18 points in the fourth. That didn't help at all. So I think that kind of threw a monkey wrench in what y'all was trying to do. Then on top of that, I mean, I got some good minutes out of Eubanks. I didn't get bad minutes out of Eubanks. I got some good minutes out of Eubanks. And Ox, I mean, when are we? Because I'm waiting for you to tell me when we packing up the Dennis Schroeder bus. He went 0 for 10 last night, Ox. 0 for 10. Not just 0 for 5 at the long ball line. 0 for 10 and like 3 turnovers. He didn't give us anything last night. And I think that Oklahoma City has a tendency to do stuff like this where they make your better players look less than, but they completely took Dennis Schroeder out of the game. He gave them nothing.
Well, Chill, I didn't expect much from Hall of Fame Dennis. Fucking Hall of Famer. This dude.
Oh, my goodness.
A Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he didn't have any turnovers. I'll take that back. But he did have 8 assists, but he couldn't get anything going last night. Nothing. Mm-mm.
Well, Drew Eubanks had 1 rebound.
Yep.
And Isaiah Hartenstein had 19.
So for every 1 rebound you get, I'm getting 18 rebounds. That's what we're doing.
That's a crazy ratio.
Is that what we doing, Ox? Give me a break, yo. Stop playing me.
The Sacramento Kings lose 101 to 132 to Oklahoma City Thunder. And then the Golden State Warriors lose to the Denver Nuggets. No Steph Curry. Aaron Gordon played very well. Nikola Jokic, 26, 9, and 9. Looks like this Denver Nuggets team is rolling.
why didn't Curry play last night? And again, I said this to you before, Ox, and they fought me on it. Like I said this to you guys, I said this to you before, that in that Western Conference, you are going to need these guys to play night in and night out. This is what I was worried about with this group, with Curry being out of the lineup, with Jimmy Butler being in and out of the lineup. Not just Jimmy Butler being in and out of the lineup. Al Horford didn't play last night, right? So this is the stuff that I was worried about. And I can promise you, Warrior fans, I'm going to say this one more time to you. If you think that 16, 17 a game from Jimmy Butler is enough, that's not going to work. It is not. But I think that you guys still see Jimmy Butler as what he was in Miami when he was taking them teams to the NBA Finals in like 2020. 15, 16 a game in the Western Conference trying to get to the playoffs when we need this on a night-to-night basis, when we need way more production, it's not going to work, man. And I know that it's early, right? I know that it's early. You heard what I said about the Dallas Mavericks, but we need these guys in the lineup because it looks to me like this Warriors team, they look old. They look old. I gotta start talking more about Aaron Gordon and the effect that he has on that Denver offense and how much of a joy Joker plays with him looks like. And Jamal Murray was in the passing lane last night. He sped the game up. Golden State looked slow. Not only did they look slow, they were turning the basketball over. They didn't look good at the long ball line. Jonathan Kuminga didn't look good at all. I thought Denver just completely handled these dudes. Completely handled them. And like guys like Jonathan Kuminga and Pozinski, they kept them. Particularly those two guys, Denver kept them on the defensive. And with them keeping them on the defensive, I think their offense suffered because of it. And Jimmy Butler giving you 14, 15 a game by trying to get these guys involved in the game wasn't it. So again, they need Curry back in the lineup. Jimmy Butler's got to play better, and they got to be more consistent. Otherwise, like I said to you before, Ox, with the 11th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select said player. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah. And just I see the people in the chat speaking on it, so I'll go ahead and speak on it as well. Jonas Valanciunas, the best backup big man in the NBA, had 16 points and 6 rebounds. He went 2 for 3 from the long ball line yesterday. It's ironic because Nikola Jokic also went 2 for 3 from the long ball line yesterday. I've spoken on Giannis. I spoke on Valanciunas so many times. There's nothing more to say.
You told us this over the summer.
Amazing pickup for them. An amazing.
You told us this over the summer when J Val wanted to go to Europe and Denver was like, nope.
They held him hostage for a reason.
Nah, we need this dude. Nah, we can't. We're not letting him go. Nope. Yeah. Come on back.
Well, shout out to him. Before we get to the other segment, I'm very eager to talk about you. I want to get back to the lobby. We got my man Lee Mack in the back. He's been waiting for a while. Let me get my man upstage, and then we'll get to who else. We got Average Joe in the back as well. Let's get to these guys. Let's see what they got for us. Lee Mack,
what up?
What's happening?
What's up, buddies? How's it going?
What's up, brother? What's going on, brother?
As a longtime Boston fan, I'm shaking my head at all these people that think that we're going to be more than expected. It's like hopping into a Honda Civic expecting it to drive like a Porsche. Like, come on.
It doesn't have a V12 in it. It just doesn't have it in it anymore.
I love the team,
shout out to Honda Civics, though. I do.
By the way, great on gas, Ox. Great on gas.
And so is our team. It just doesn't mean we're going to get to the promised land. But it's like I think.
Here's the thing, Lee. I think you are going to get to the promised land. It would have been a little bit faster in the Porsche than it is in the Civic. It might take us a little bit longer.
3 years, but
yeah, it might take us a little bit longer. You know, if we was in the Porsche, we'd fly down the freeway. Like in that Civic, we definitely got to get out the carpool lane.
We got spoiled. We got spoiled with
with
Tatum, and then when you remove one, it's like, oh well, it's less than, but it's not. I mean, the poor guy can't carry the whole. There is a team here. There is like 20 other people on this team that we can actually be helping us out here a bit. So I just kind of was like shaking my head at kind of the expectations that we have as these fans and stuff. But I was also curious, like I was thinking about Giannis and like what decade do you think he would play best in, and what team in that decade do you think he would play best in?
He would have been awesome on the Knicks in the 90s. Holy shit. With Ewing and Anthony Mason, take Oakley off the floor and take Oakley out of that lineup and put Giannis in that lineup. They are mopping the Bulls. I don't think they beat the Bulls. They destroy the Bulls. Holy shit. With Giannis, his game is tailor-made for that decade.
Yeah.
That brute force, that consistent violence, that
Intensity,
glass cleaner, that defender, his game is tailor-made for that.
Yeah.
Yes, he would be fantastic in that era. And on the Knicks and on the Rockets, if he played with Olajuwon, oh my goodness. Because he would basically be what when Ralph Sampson was with him, that ball handler, that when Ralph used to handle the ball and get out in transition. Oh, he would be great, no doubt.
I would have loved him in Houston with T-Mac.
That would have been good too. As I always do, I have an album for you guys.
Nat King. Is that Nat King Cole right there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right
nice
on.
job. My boy, Lee Mac got some good vinyl. Yes, he does. He's got some really good vinyl, no doubt.
I gotta catch up. I'm gonna go downtown, hit the record store, and
I need to add some hip hop vinyl though. So I need a few suggestions of some albums to add to vinyl for hip hop though.
I'll tell you what, that they got that Victory Lap from Nipsey Hussle on vinyl, and it sounds really good on vinyl. I love it. Yeah,
Word.
I got it. Yeah,
that's what's up. Okay. The Low End Theory on vinyl too. The Low End Theory and the Death Certificate with Ice Cube is on vinyl.
Okay.
Will do.
Well,
thanks, fellas.
All right, Lee Mac. Appreciate you.
All right, Lee. Later, brother. Ox, to be honest with you, and I'm a West Coast dude when it comes to rap. I should have been paying more attention to Nipsey Hussle than I did. I heard this dude was super dope. I didn't pay as much attention to him as I should have, and that's my fault. No doubt it is.
I think Crenshaw is probably one of my favorite of all time. I love that Crenshaw album, of course, but he got a lot. He did a lot of work before he passed. He did a lot of work. There's a lot of music out there to listen to. So if you want to, it's not hard to find. Let's see. We got Average Joe. Average Joe, what's going on, brother?
What up?
What's good, brothers? What's good, OG?
What up?
OG Chill. What's good, Big Ox?
What up?
There's two things I kind of want to talk about, but I'm only talk about one. I want to take up your time. Chill. You keep speaking on De'Aaron Fox coming to the when he comes back to the Spurs, he's going to give him that added juice. And I'm not going to put my bias about De'Aaron Fox into this. I just look at a guy at Stephon Castle, and I look at Dylan Harper, and I just don't see for the foreseeable future, like not just this year, but going forward, how moving them to the 2 and 3 and having a De'Aaron Fox halt their development helps the Spurs and Wemby in the long run.
Well, why does it halt their development? First of all, you're getting a better player than Dylan Harper, who does the same thing that Dylan Harper does, except better. That's number one. Number two, you're getting a defender on the perimeter who can play fast, which accentuates both Castle and Vassell's game. So why would you not want that in your lineup? And on top of that, this isn't an old guy. De'Aaron Fox is 27 years old. We got some years left with him.
He's 27, but he's also not part of the timeline is Wemby's timeline. Wemby's what, 21, 22? And it's always best to have the time for your role players or your guys to be younger than your guy or the same age as your guy. That's where the Bucks ran into trouble with Giannis. Giannis, all the guys that they had helping him were older, and that's why he's in the position that he's in now.
But Average Joe, the difference is that Wemby you can't go off his age. You got to go off of what he's ready to do right now. I think Victor Wembanyama is good enough right now to be making long, deep playoff runs. And in the next year or so, I think he's going to be good enough to be championship level. So I understand that Foxy's 5-6 years older than Wemby. But as far as development goes and skill set and ready to win this,
I get what you're saying.
Victor Wembanyama's about there now. So I think he is at the same timeline as De'Aaron Fox.
That is so true. But here's the problem. Historically, and you can go back, every single time where teams try to accelerate the process, it's failed. Every single time where they're like, you know what, let's win now with our young guy instead of just
in this era.
In this era, every single time.
Wow.
But
we just saw it recently. We just saw Phoenix recently, did we not?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
They went to the finals,
but it's different.
And then what did they do? They try to accelerate the process and get KD, lost. And now they're a lottery team. They gave up their.
They didn't have Victor Wembanyama.
No, they did not. No, they didn't. But we live in a space right now where everything is right now. Like what you looking at is you looking at this from what I'm listening to from you, you're looking at this San Antonio team like a team that could be together for years. Well, first of all, we don't have that in this era right now. With the exception of Oklahoma City, we don't have that in this era right now. These teams are trying to win right now. That's why Houston did what they did. That's why Oklahoma City is, with the exception of Oklahoma City, that's why a lot of these teams are doing what they're doing. That's why Milwaukee did what they did, trading for Drew Holiday. That's why Boston did what they did, trading for Porzingis. They accelerating the process. And the same thing is, I think the same thing is said for the San Antonio team. If you take out, let's just say for the sake of argument that Dylan Harper plays this whole season and then they miss the playoffs, right? Let's just say for the sake of argument that happened. If De'Aaron Fox was in Sacramento getting busy like he was getting busy and he got traded to San Antonio, how would you feel about him with that group? Because I would love it. I think it's an upgrade at the lead guard spot. And I think that it makes them much better.
Well, I'm very big on Stephon Castle. And one of the things why I'm big on Stephon Castle to me, though, he needs to be the one or the two. The more you slide someone like him down further along and you make him a 3, or sometimes you have him as a 4 in certain lineups, so Wemby at the 5, it reduces his value.
I definitely think he's at the 2 guard. I definitely think he's at the 2 guard spot, but I don't think that having Foxy back hurts them at all. And I think that when he gets back in the lineup, you're going to see how much better this San Antonio team is.
I'm about to go, but I'm about to say something. It may sound crazy. I just remember the Lakers had Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Kobe Bryant, and they traded 2 of those guys away because they had a young star that needed to blossom. They made him. I understand the trading away because of I understood that. But with that being said, early on, I mean, they had to trade. They had to end up getting a new coach, but it didn't work early. Don't forget, they got swept out of the playoffs that year that they traded Eddie Jones. I know, but then a year later, you have a lockout, and a year later, you're champions.
But so 2 years in a row, they get now. Just so you know, if that happens today, you think that group stays together?
If you're a smart GM, yes. If you're
no,
I think the problem with teams now, like teams like, oh, we need a win right now, and you're destroying your teams. Killed Philly, it killed the Suns, killed Brooklyn a couple times.
I just think that because of the parity that we have in the league today, the reason why these teams are doing this is because they see their window being like this. Because we don't have the Golden State Warriors of the 2010s or the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Kobe and Shaq era. We don't have that. We got teams that feel like that's why the Houston Rockets traded for KD, because we think we can win it right now. And we're probably not going to have this opportunity in another year or two. So if you're on the doorstep, to Ox's point, and you got a guy like Victor Wembanyama, we got to maximize this. Because one, I don't even know how much longer I'm going to have Vic. I don't know if Vic's going to hold up for 3 years. That's
the only thing. A guy his size, guys his size, they don't have 10, 15 in their primes. They don't have years of 12 plus years. Like even your big cousin, he had really 11, 12 years of being that dominant guy. You don't have those 15, 16, 17.
After 2006, and that was year 14, and he was still, first team All-Pro, but it was going the other way.
Well, I'd argue after 03, after the toe, it was starting to go downhill, but he was still Shaq. He's still Shaq. He's the most dominant. Mm-hmm. But after he wasn't 01, he wasn't 2000 anymore.
No, he wasn't. Nope.
All right, Joe. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think it's different when we're dealing with Victor Wembanyama. Chill. I think I don't think we can really go off history, because when's the last? I mean, how many times have we had a Victor Wembanyama in the league? You know what I mean? So I don't think we can go off of age. I think we got to go off of how ready are you? What's your readiness to win like?
And Ox, to ask you a question, when you got guys that are that good, doesn't that increase the time limit? Like the timeline now goes up. Like we gotta move now, as opposed to you can see guys developing. Like what would happen if Amin Thompson would have came out this season with Houston and he's 25, 8-8? You'd be like, oh shit. Like the timeline now just got pushed up. Same thing with SGA. Does that increase the timeline when these guys end up playing better than what you thought?
I think so.
Yeah.
On top of that, Chill, my thing is I'm high on Stephon Castle. I'm high on Dylan Harper. But if somebody has to go, to me, it's not Foxy.
It is not Foxy. No, it's not. Like, why are we having this conversation? No, it's not.
You know, that's all I'm saying. Plus, there's 48 minutes in the basketball game, and these guys will get their minutes. And Victor Wembanyama gives them the ability to play small. He gives them the ability to play small and fast, and still have a rim protector out there. So, I don't think San Antonio has any problems right now. I don't think these are issues at all. So, I think as a whole, we got to calm down on all the trade talk. For instance, Paul Pierce saying if he was a GM, he would trade LeBron James. What's that about?
What the hell is going on here? Well, first of all, James got a no trade clause in his contract. So let's start there. There's only a few guys in the league that have no trade clauses, and James is one of those guys. So that's number one. Number two, why are we trading James? Are we trading him because he's not good? It's the same James who you told me, Ox, last season. We was talking about being first team all pro.
That's where I had him.
Jabbar wasn't first team all pro at 39 years old, 40 years old. No, he wasn't. Neither was Malone. They weren't this good. So, I mean, why are we trading him? What's the deal here? I don't get it, Ox. I don't. I think I just lost him. Ox, I can't hear you, brother.
I think the Lakers would be crazy to trade him. I think that would
bugging.
just be
No.
absurd, absolutely ridiculous.
Not doing that. Not at all.
So besides that, though, Chill, I want to talk to you about this 2021 redraft.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So the 2021 redraft, they have the Pistons taking Evan Mobley instead of Cade Cunningham. The Rockets taking Cade Cunningham instead of Jalen Green. The Cavs taking Alperen Şengün because Evan Mobley's gone off there already. The Raptors still taking Scotty Barnes. The Magic still taking Franz Wagner. OKC taking Austin Reeves, who nobody took. The Warriors. Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Because what?
Nobody drafted. Yes,
wait,
OKC took
who
Austin
did they
Reeves.
draft? OKC
in
drafted
2020. In 2021,
that's J-Dub, right?
They ended up moving that. That was the Clippers pick, and they got him at 12. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they got him at 12.
And then they got OKC at 6 taking Austin Reeves. The Warriors taking Jalen Johnson. The Magic taking Trey Murphy III. The Kings, Giddey, that's right, my bad. The Kings taking Jalen Suggs, and then the Grizzlies taking Josh Giddey.
Yep.
Chill. Oh, let me keep going. The Hornets taking Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes,
the
sir.
Spurs taking Herb Jones. The Pacers taking Quentin Grimes. And the Warriors taking Aaron Wiggins. I want to know, what did Jalen Green do to y'all to deserve this type of disrespect?
What is happening right now? So Jalen Green ain't even a top 15 pick. Is that what's going on right now?
This is
because
ridiculous.
Jalen Green definitely goes ahead of Jalen Suggs. 100% he does. Jalen Green definitely goes ahead.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, he does. He definitely goes ahead of Herb Jones. He definitely goes ahead of Quentin Grimes. And he goes ahead of Aaron Wiggins. What's wrong with y'all? Are y'all crazy?
What are they doing at Bleacher Report, Chill?
I don't know.
What's happening here?
So, that is nuts right there.
Chill, this first 6, I'm actually fine with this first 6. Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Alperen Şengün, Scotty Barnes, Franz Wagner, Austin Reeves. Boom, that's great. At 7, I like Jalen Johnson, though. I like Jalen Johnson. Shout out to Jalen Johnson.
I love Jalen Johnson. I'm moving Josh Giddey up, though. I'm definitely moving Josh Giddey up.
Josh Giddey and Jalen Green are going before Trey Murphy, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Kuminga, Herb Jones, Quentin Grimes, Aaron Wiggins.
100% he's going before all of them.
There's no way. The disrespect to Jalen Green must stop at some point.
It has to. That's why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to shut down the disrespectful logic. So if you telling me that Jalen Green today, if you're looking at what Jalen Green has done up until this point, and then you looking at this redraft, you telling me of these 10 guys that Jalen Green doesn't go ahead of Trey Murphy, you bugging out. If he doesn't go ahead of Jalen Suggs, you bugging out. Yes, he does. The only guy that I'm thinking about is Josh Giddey. That's it. After that, we can have a conversation about all of these dudes. Like, what would Jalen Green look like with that Warriors team? Bye, pods. See you later. Good, you good. Bye, Moody. You off the floor too. Goodbye. Absolutely, you get off the floor. No, Jalen Green is definitely playing with that Golden State Warriors team, with that wide open offense, with Draymond Green being the distributor and playmaker that he is, the shots that he will end up getting, and being able to compete on defense. Yes, Jalen. Yeah, I know that people have a tendency to over exaggerate, but Jalen Green is definitely a top 10 pick in that 21 draft if we redrafted today. Yes, he is.
Yeah. When I saw this list, Chill, before it was sent to me, before you sent it, and we decided to speak about it today, I had seen this list yesterday. I want to say right after the panel, I believe I saw it, and I was pretty frustrated by this list.
That's the first time I saw it earlier today.
Yeah, I don't understand where this Jalen Green disrespect keeps coming from. I'm not sure.
Because he got traded for KD. That's why. That's why. Because he got traded. He was a starter on a playoff team that got traded to a bad team, and now people just equate that to him just being bad. When in reality, Jalen Green is one of the best young players in the game. That's just not true.
It's just the way people talk about him, and they dig up reasons to try to, make him look worse than he is. But whatever. Shout out to Jalen Green. I hope he has a hell of a season. Yeah, it's crazy, Chill. Let's get to some of these super chats. We only got about 8 minutes left in the show, so let's go ahead and knock these out.
Yes, sir.
Cowboy Bob says Kuzma averaging 14 points off the bench, 6-man. Can we get a 6-man of the year for Kuz?
Would love that. I would love that. I would love that. I think that. Well, I don't think Cole Anthony is averaging that much neither. But they got. I think we're looking at if I look at what's going on with Cole Anthony right now, because we may have 2 6-man of the year. Well, he's averaging 11 a game coming off the bench. So, I mean, we may have 2 6-man of the year candidates on the same team, kind of like what went on with Jordan Clarkson and I forgot his name. They used to play for Utah, and yeah, those two guys. We might have that. We may have that going on in Milwaukee. But Kuzma's been great for this Milwaukee team, playing defense, knocking down open shots. He's been really good for this group. Yes, he has been. I like him.
Sorry to break it to you, Chill, but Cole Anthony's not getting that.
No, I don't think so neither. Joe Ingles is his name. You're right, Joshua. Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson. Both of those guys were up for 6-man of the year.
Average Joe. Out of all active players, Bron has the most all-NBA first teams. Second is Giannis. I feel like we don't really realize how long Giannis has been great.
He's been awesome. Let's see, we're in 25, 26. Giannis showed up, I want to say either in 13 or 14. He'd been in the league for like 12 years, something like that. And he got awesome, I want to say, in like maybe 17. I think that's when he started getting awesome.
Yeah, 17, 18.
And he's been awesome. So we're looking at like 8 years where Giannis has been just awesome. Yeah, we're looking at like 8 years where Giannis has been awesome.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying the other day when we were having that Jokic-Giannis conversation. I'm like, if we're talking about just career-wise, it's Giannis for sure, in my eyes.
Got a bunch of years, Ox. A bunch where this dude has been awesome. A bunch of years. And I really can't. Like I said, I make it my business to go on my daily rant every day. Anytime Giannis does something awesome, I am doing this. This will not go by the wayside like it did last year. I was wrapped up in the Joker logic. Nah, I'm still wrapped up in the Joker logic, but not nearly as much as I'm paying attention to Giannis this year. And it will not go. It will not go unnoticed this season. Nope, not this year.
Right. Shout out to everybody watching the video, whether you're watching it on YouTube or X. We appreciate you tapping in. Please make sure you're liking the video, and if you're not subscribed, man, do that. Subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell so you never miss an episode of The Panel, never miss an episode of Chill with Chill, and never miss an episode of The Press Box, where you can get the best NFL and just overall football talk on the internet. If you're watching on X, man, go ahead and like and repost, quote, requote, however, whatever you call it, do that. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ansa says, K not even top 10 in the MVP race? That's crazy. The Detroit disrespect is crazy and out of control.
That is nuts. I mean, I do. If you look at if you look at what's going on with that MVP race, like you said, I mean, of the guys, Shea, Giannis, Luka, Vic, Josh Giddey, Maxey, yes, he could definitely. Cade Cunningham, like Maxey, can come off this list. Curry can come off this list. I think Sengun, he can go ahead of him.
Not Maxey, chill. Not Maxey.
For what Cade Cunningham has been doing, like I said, I think the biggest problem is the fact that he started slow. Like the first couple of games, it didn't look good, but then they jumped out. Then he got going. So, I mean, Cade's been fantastic. Yes, he has.
If we talking JB, that man Devin Booker needs love too.
Yes,
For sure. For sure.
I said to you guys before the season started that I thought Devin Booker can give me 30 a night. I think I'm close to that. Yeah, I think I'm close to 30 a night from Devin Booker. So I don't think we're that far away. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out D Book. A pimp named Slickback sent a super chat, said, fellas, why are people screaming for the Pistons to make a big trade? I think they should give it time and see this core through for at least 2 years. That front court is one of the best in the NBA right now.
Who was talking about making a trade in Detroit? They got one of the best. They got one of the best point guards in the league. They got one of the best bigs in the league. Beef Stew, one of the best rotation bigs in the game. Been awesome. They're gonna get Ivy back. What? Well, who said anything about them making a trade? This team is definitely on to something. This Detroit Pistons team. Why are we talking about trading anybody? I haven't heard anything about Detroit making a big trade. Why would we even consider trading anybody? Nah, no reason to do that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, so I hope they don't, man. Stick with it. We have a new member by the name of Kick. And if you don't like this video, I'm gonna kick your.
You know what?
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get out of here, chill. Let me just run down the games that are going on today, and just to let y'all know, so y'all can watch some hoops, man. Watch some hoops. Today we're starting with Dallas versus Washington. They got a doubleheader. Toronto versus Philly. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Atlanta Hawks. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on Chicago. Both 6-win teams. Chill. Who do you got there? Cleveland or Chicago winning that one?
Cleveland.
Cleveland? Shout out Cleveland.
I'll take Cleveland.
Woo, another good one. Miami versus Portland. I'm definitely going to tap into that one. Then we have New Orleans and the San Antonio Spurs debut of De'Aaron Fox. Man, y'all make sure to go check out Foxy. Then after that, we have the Indiana Pacers, who are 1-7. That's egregious, taking on the Denver Nuggets. Golly.
Garbage.
Man, Jokic.
Garbage.
This is when you load manage Jokic. And then we have the Phoenix Suns taking on the Los Angeles Clippers again, although they just played on Thursday. Let's see if Jalen Green can have a repeat of Thursday's game and maybe garner some respect around these guys at Bleacher Report. Well, that's all the lobby. That's all the super chats, and we are right on time for this hour and a half show of Chill with Chill. We appreciate y'all coming by. Make sure that you like the video on your way out. If you didn't like the video on your way in, repost if you're watching this on Twitter. And once again, thank y'all for coming through and talking ball with us today. If you come on next, another super chat. Zion for Khan and Miles. Hypothetical trade. That's from Justin or Just Osh.
So you got LaMelo Ball, who plays 36 games, and then you got another injured guy in Zion. What's the? Are we just trying to sell tickets? Is that all we doing? Because I don't know how this works. No, I don't know how to. I mean, on paper it might look good as the lob threat, as the downhill guy, but are these guys going to hold up? No, I'm good.
I'm not doing that if I'm the Hornets. I think that's kind of what you're saying too. Like if I'm the Hornets, I say no.
Yeah, I'm good. There's no reason for me to do
straight
that.
on Zion.
Nah, I'm good.
You thought losing 150 pounds was going to change something, and the kid still can't play. So
clearly, it didn't.
Well, chill.
Y'all know what time it is when y'all see me and the big fella. We here every Monday to Friday on the panel from 11 to 2. This is where you can find us. If you can't find us there, you can find us on Thursday at 4 o'clock right here on the Players Choice Network. If you can't make that, Saturday. This is Saturday, man. Saturday is basketball talk. You can find me and the big fella right here, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 Pacific. This is where you can find us. Basketball talk. This is what we do. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Well, last time you talk to your mother, call your mother. See you guys soon, man. And until then, take it light, but take it. No, hell no. Absolutely not, man. What are you doing here? Get out of here. No.
You
I was
got
about to
something to say?
What do you want, man? What you want, yo? What do you want, Ron? Oh, boy.
Oh, he about to turn his camera on. Shit.
Oh, my God. Here we go. And just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hey, hit my big fella up. He'll make sure that you get home. He'll make sure he got you covered, no doubt. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. This was
We're going to get out of here. We narrowly ducked the L host, man.
Oh, man.
Look at this.
We
You
did
doing?
get it.
You
We
playing
did.
in the back now, turning the camera on and off? Dude, play too much. But anyways, y'all, we'll see y'all on Monday. Make sure you do not miss the press box tomorrow. And never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive, y'all. We'll
Don't
see
do
y'all
that.
soon, man. On Thursday, make sure you click that link so you can get up here and talk some good hoop talk, man. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Later. Box.